I'm Tamron Hall. The News Nation is following the final 14 in the race for the presidency. There are no more debates, no more scheduled face-to-face meetings for President Obama and Governor Mitt Romney. This is it. It is now down to the ground game and the campaign trail. And the president has hit the ground running. He'll be in Ohio this afternoon after holding a post-debate rally in Florida just a couple of hours ago. A rally in which the president again dished out what he refers to as medical advice to Governor Romney.
Last night he said he always supported taking out Osama bin Laden. But in 2007, he said it wasn't worth moving heaven and earth to catch one man. We've come up with a name for this condition. It's called Romnesia. We had a severe outbreak last night. It was at least stage 3 Romnesia.
And Governor Romney left Florida late this morning, heading to battleground out west. He'll be rallying with Paul Ryan in Nevada within the next hour. Let me bring in today's News Nation panel. Democratic strategist Margie Omero, nationally syndicated radio talk show host Michael Smerconish, who's also an MSNBC contributor, Lois Romano, senior political writer for Politico, and Jonathan Collegio, director for American Crossroads. Thank you all for joining me. Michael, I'll start off with you because I do enjoy the fact that you're able to talk to folks from around the country and get their reaction to big nights like the debate. We saw the president at this rally a couple of hours ago hitting the Romnesia line again. This time, though, he's got point after point to back that up after what we saw last night. I'm not even sure how you would categorize what happened to Mitt Romney and his smooth move or rough move to a more moderate candidate.
Well, it was a significantly different Governor Romney than we saw in primary season. In primary season, President Obama is the apologist, and we did hear that line last night. He's also the weak commander-in-chief. And yet what I found stunning last night, Tamron, is that time and again, Syria, Egypt, Afghanistan, bin Laden, so many different things, the drones, it was essentially Governor Romney saying, yeah, me too. Yeah. I mean, there was no daylight between them. That is not the Mitt Romney who captured the GOP nomination.
And Lois, let me bring you in. I said smooth or rough move because this is all last night, at least a lot of the analysis and this morning, is point of view. It is kind of one of those things of what did you want to see? You have conservatives and Republicans who said that Governor Romney did a great job. They don't see any deception or any malpractice, if you will, political malpractice in the transition he's made. When you look at some of the columns and op-eds from Democrats, they say that Governor Romney was weak. He did not have a game to bring, let alone bringing an A game on foreign policy. Are we simply at the point that no matter what happened at that debate last night, you have the pundits and the writers who have their storyline, they have their point of view, and that's what we'll see for the next 14 days?
Well, I think there's really something to that. Everybody is pretty dug in right now. But I think what you saw with Governor Romney last night was very strategic. He made a decision to go into that debate and not make waves, not have a fight with Barack Obama, not have a Schieffer. He is leading in the polls right now, and, you know, he wants to run out the clock a little bit. So he was not going to get... he was not going to make any kind of a mistake. And I think that's what you saw. He was also trying to appeal to those still little slice of swing voters that are out there that don't want to see a warmonger.
So I'm curious, Lois, in the first debate, the president, low energy, but nevertheless, it was seen as a debate where he was hoping perhaps to stay above the fray, do no harm, if you will. At the time, he was leading in many of the polls. How is that different? Why was he so harshly criticized? And then last night, it is clear that Governor Romney did not want to ruffle any feathers. He moved away from talking points and beliefs that he has espoused now for many, many months, even beyond the Republican primary. We're talking about even after the Republican convention, when by all accounts a candidate normally would move to positions more accommodating to independent voters.
Well, and I think the president emphasized all that. And he brought time and time again. He said, you know, you've changed your position on this, on this, on this. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying this was his strategy. I mean, the other thing that I think did come out very clear last night is that the governor did not have a very deep bench of facts. At a certain point, he really did keep repeating himself, and I think that was strategic too. I mean, he just didn't want to get out there, get boxed in like he did last week on the Libya conversation. This was a very cautious debate, the last debate, and he just didn't want to make any errors.
Let me bring you in, Jonathan Collegio. You're the conservative, the Republican on the panel. How would you describe Mitt Romney's strategy last night?
I think it's easy to lose sight of who the audience of the debate really was for both of these guys, and it was independent voters. And if you look at the way the independent voters interpreted the results last night, Triple P had a poll, and they said that Obama, with those folks, they were less likely to want Obama afterward, and they were more likely to want to vote for Obama after. Now, you're dealing with a small sample there, but it's directional, and I think it shows the success of Romney's strategy, which was, number one, to pass that presidential bar, but then also to be talking about these economic issues as much as he could, whenever he could, because whenever the debate pivoted back to economics, he dominated. I think that was very, very clear, and we saw it over and over again throughout the debate.
Well, in one area we know that he did not dominate, and we'll play this clip a little bit later. We're talking about the auto industry. I don't think anyone thinks he dominated on that subject matter, and we know that means millions of jobs for a lot of people in states that he needs, particularly Ohio. But, Jonathan, I want to bring up what Joe Scarborough had to say about Romney's move to the center and the timing of it all. Let's play it.
If Mitt Romney attacked to the center at the convention, he might find himself up considerably, even in states like Ohio.
Saying after the convention, if this Mitt Romney had appeared, he'd be doing better in Ohio. But I want to go back to something you said about the appearance of being presidential. How is that a good appearance when you are simply following the guy who's already in office? You say he set a bar or he reached the bar. The bar was being held by the president when he is constantly saying, me too, this guy is right. Where is the complaint? Where is I can do a better job, or the direction I'd like to see our foreign policy for this country go?
Well, I think with the President of the United States, everyone gets that the President of the United States has probably been briefed literally thousands of times over the course of his presidency on foreign policy and intelligence issues. So they know that the President, in virtually every circumstance, is going to come into the debate with more information in his head and at his disposal than any challenger. So I think that that's kind of the frame that independents going into this look for. And they want to make sure that they believe that the candidate who's challenging is someone that they vote for, that they can trust, that they trust will make good decisions. And I think he cleared that bar last night, especially when he went back to those economic issues.
Let me play just a few of the items where Mitt Romney agreed with the president on things in the past. And you say that's briefings, but Jonathan, you and I both know that's never stopped Republicans or Governor Romney from criticizing the president, from Syria to what to do with Iran. That's never stopped him from giving his opinions despite having or not having those briefings the president has been privy to. Let's just play a montage of the agrees moments.
As the president indicated and said at the time that I supported his action there. We had to go into Pakistan. We had to go in there to get Osama bin Laden. That was the right thing to do. It's widely reported that drones are being used in drone strikes, and I support that entirely and feel the president was right.
So, Margie, what do you describe the strategy of Governor Romney? I mean, as you heard Jonathan Collegio, other Republicans believe it was effective. Already today, it's given the president his first talking point that had the audience in Florida on their feet.
Well, I think it'd be one thing if Mitt Romney had a collaborative style this entire campaign, but he hasn't. The truth is he has been incredibly confrontational, one, in the past few debates, and two, on foreign policy generally, where he has this reflexive opposition to everything President Obama's for. He says, I'm against it. Whatever he's for, I'm against. And he had a completely different take last night, and I think that reveals some of the vulnerabilities that Romney has generally, his willingness to really play all different sides of an issue, and two, realizing that a lot of his positions are really unpopular with a lot of swing voters, so he has to move more to the middle right here at the very end. I did watch the debate with some swing Walmart moms last night, and they did appreciate some of the more agreement, seeing some agreement and less of the combativeness between the two candidates. Ultimately, though, the polls showed, the dial group I was in last night showed that Obama won this debate. He he seemed strong, he seemed confident, and Mitt Romney didn't really have anything really to add.
Well, the CNN poll, who won the debate, President 48%, a CBS poll, uncommitted voter, the debate 53%. Michael, let me bring you back. I want to play what Senator Rob Portman said on Morning Joe when he was put on the spot about why, even though the gap is closing in Ohio, why has Mitt Romney's economic message that Jonathan Collegio was just touting, why hasn't it sealed the deal in that state that he needs?
Most people in Ohio that I've met, and I spent some time there, not nearly as much as you,